Hi, everybody. Welcome to The New Normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. Today is a Truth Tuesday, so that means my buddy Satoshi Sean will be joining us. And we're going to dive into a couple stories, more recent breaking news, and see what else we've seen around the neighborhood where your data is more important than your dollars. I don't know. Is that true? We'll ask Sean right after this. Jump in the live chat and join us. Make sure you visit both of our channels, give us a like, a thumbs up, and leave a comment on both. See you in a minute. Happy Tuesday, Sean. Sorry, I got the little intros mixed up there.
Okay.
But I got it figured out. You're looking very dapper today with your new handlebar mustache.
Thank you. It's old mustache.
It's old mustache.
I just shaved the beard away, but yeah.
Well, a new look.
Yeah. Your hair looks lovely.
Thank you. I was fishing for a compliment, so I appreciate it. Yeah, I got my hair done today, so yay. Oh, it makes me feel better. So I've been out of the loop. I've been doing my truck driving days, my back and forth to Oklahoma City. I also want to show you these weird things. Well, maybe I'll do that later. There's these new signs on the highway. And I don't know if they are putting them up or if they've always had them where you are. But in Oklahoma, we always had green reflective signs with white lettering that says, Fort Smith, 90 miles. This town, so many miles. This town, so many miles. All of a sudden, there are these digital, in fact, I'll just pull it up. These digital signs every once in a while along I-40. Would I be able to see it? I think I have to pull it up in my photos first. That say Fort Smith 50 minutes, not miles. It's no longer miles, but it's telling you each town is so many minutes away.
Really?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's real weird.
Because miles is real math. Minutes is,
yes.
You're going 55 or 58. It's a difference.
Oh gosh, I got something in my eye. And I've seen, like when you're in construction zones or heavy traffic in a city, when I lived closer to Oklahoma City, like it would say, if you got on the turnpike or the downtown expressway thing, it would say like so many minutes to downtown or so many minutes. So people would know like, well, you're already late for work or you're not, or, but why is my thing not just... It's not showing my pictures correctly. I don't know what's happening. It's like resorted all my pictures. I don't know what's happening. And it just says featured photos. Maybe days. Today. Oh no, maybe that was yesterday. Here it is. Yesterday. Okay, here is the one. Share screen. Window. So you notice it says like Okemah, 32 minutes. This highway, 48 minutes. Turn at this highway, 67 minutes. And it's called like Skyline something is the name of the company. And notice they have like these little things on top, but they could very easily start like putting instructions on there or I don't know.
Yeah, that is weird. Not miles. Maybe it's a mistake, but it is Highway 40 that Brack sings about in the Brack song.
Say that again. Highway 40 what?
In the Brack song, the Brack sings about.
What does that mean?
Going down Highway 40 in my big old pickup truck.
Oh, you're singing a song.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's not what it's about.
Highway 40.
It's very strange, and it's
weird
in the last month. The last time I went, I noticed them for the first time, and then this time there's more of them now along the highways. And
Oklahoma's governor has become an enemy of the administration. So,
wow, I think that's an Elon fight.
it's a weird thing.
Yeah, I don't agree with it because he did a lot of things constitutionally to protect Oklahoma and Oklahomans during the Great Infection, including backing our, working to build our state treasury with gold and physical silver. He made sure that the walkies weren't mandated, weren't required, whatever. He's very constitutional governor. So I kind of think it's one of those Elon, hey, let's fight on Twitter and then we'll kiss and make up. I don't know. But it obviously causes people to like choose one side or another. And I'm not going to choose either because I think it's a bunch of.
I thought it was odd.
But. It is odd. You're right. You're completely right. The other really strange thing, like I said, I wasn't on. I'm as much as I should have been keeping up with the news, but I kind of tried to. But this really bothered me. Home Depot is now partnering with Clear. This is to help you. It's to help you create a secure rental experience by verifying who you are. And remember, Home Depot was already using NFT.
You were very unhappy about the whole thing from the get-go, yeah.
Yeah, because they were, well, no, I thought it was kind of a good idea. Like if you buy the NFT and you buy the equipment, then you own it in your possession and you can prove like it got stolen. I can turn it off.
Yeah, but you were talking about how like you're just really technically constantly renting it because they could turn it off.
That's true. They could too. Yeah. And now they've extended this to not only is it the NFT that they're in control of, but now they want so this Clear is if you go to the airport and they're rushing people ahead of you in line through TSA, it's because they agreed to go Clear and they take them over this machine and it scans their eye like WorldCoin and they get their biometric data put in and they get cleared to travel.
That is so science fiction-y.
It's really creepy.
The other thing you sent me, the Palantir thing.
Yeah, that goes right along with this.
Yeah.
Because if these companies are collecting your biometric data, how do you open your phone? With your face nowadays? Well, if they're collecting that same information, can they open everything? So that was the other, I think it's this way. Big story was this one that there was a metadata dump, and this is what can happen when
suspicious providers. The biggest red flag so far is a sole proprietor operating in a van in rural New Mexico who has billed $76 million in 7 years. He's averaging 1,000 claims every day. That is some efficient work happening. There's another single pediatrician billing
Sorry, that should have.
Everyone to see. It's a massive file. This is huge, and it's already showing some incredibly suspicious providers. The biggest red flag so far is a sole proprietor operating in a van in rural New Mexico who has billed $76 million in 7 years. He's averaging 1,000 claims every day. That is some efficient work happening. There's another single pediatrician billing 830 claims every day for the last 7 years. He's up to $70 million. Not bad for somebody whose practice is based in a residential apartment. There are hundreds of these, and they are so obvious. This is the kind of thing that can only happen when the person paying is spending somebody else's money. Nobody is letting their own money fly out the window to a van in New Mexico. That's why our prices have to be competitive.
Okay. I'm not so concerned about the prices as the transition of data. To your point about Palantir, to tell everybody what happened with the Palantir thing.
Well, they had this hack that I want to talk more about Palantir like in a second, but
Yeah.
I don't believe that it's an individual,
Ah.
because it just common sense wise, just take a second, think about, what you're hearing.
Mhm.
I don't think most individuals would commit a crime for 10 years, and unless they're super super comfortable, and they don't like not a regular person, a organization, organized crime, something like that. But once you get to 5 million, $10 million, I think you're gonna, we got away with it, guys, let's walk away. I don't think you're going to keep it up. And then once you get an administration like the one that came in, you're going to cut it. Once if they're talking about making Doge a government agency to track down the shit you're doing, you're going to stop. If you're just an individual who's been committing a crime for 7 to 10 years, I don't think that it's just a guy in a van or just a guy in an apartment that's been getting away with it for that long. There has to be some kind of protection. There has to be some kind of, bribes. There has to be some kind of organized crime there.
Whitney Webb gives a great history of Palantir.
The man they chose to put in charge of that was John Poindexter, who was the highest ranking member of the Reagan administration to be indicted for his role in Iran-Contra, which, again, the continuity of government stuff is relevant here. So
I will share that to Telegram for everybody to watch, but she does give a great history and those involved with Palantir from early on.
So, you have anything else you want to go over? 'Cause I've been thinking about something for a while, and I really, I want to kind of lay it out there.
Well, okay. So there's Kim.com basically exposed the Palantir leak or whatever and connects it with the CIA and all this. Also, I will leave that tweet in Telegram for people to kind of check out themselves. But Kim.com is a great resource to look at and kind of see what's going on. So do you think that it's hopeless that like they already have our biometrics? We've all looked in our phones and, the government can order or subpoena records from these, and has directed during the Great Infection, they were directing these large companies. Zuckerberg's supposed to testify tomorrow.
I think nothing matters.
Is it too late?
I think it's all over. I think everything's too late. I think we're done.
We've been enslaved.
Yeah, we're finished. I think we've gotten to the point now where we're done. This is it. We talked. We've been friends for a long time, and I've always said everything's like a test. Everything's to see how far you can push it. Like we talked about Jade Helm with.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first big pushes. How far can we push? Until Texas did that. And then, things after that, and then like the Walmart, and there's so many things that are dropped or exposed, like you like to say. And it's like, what happens? What can we get away with? Nobody went to jail? Okay. Do we do this? Nobody went to jail? Okay.
Right.
Nobody went to jail. The elections, nobody went to jail. They didn't kill anyone. No riots. George Floyd, they riot. They destroy. Okay. And I think this was a revelation for me this week. Why did they do the whole woke thing? Why did they bow, literally our officials, in air quotes, bowed the knee and wore like African garb in
Yeah, I remember that.
And why would they do? I kept thinking, why? But even at the time, why are they doing that? Why are they bowing to it? Because those people are the ones that are setting fires to police stations. The ones, the people with the guns, the people with the real power, they're the law-abiding citizens who take it. Wow. And that's why they didn't care, because we are the ones that we took it. We take it. And I think we run the world. That's something I think makes everyone uncomfortable, because Trump has shown that we can do whatever we want. My mother always told me that we're so different, because all throughout history, you have a war, you have a fight, the winner wins, they take everything.
Yeah.
And she said, America, if even when we have a war and we win, we give everything back.
Yeah.
Sometimes we give
rebuild
more.
them.
Sometimes we even give more. Yeah, give reparations or help rebuild.
Yeah.
That's never. She's like, no one ever did that before. This is why we're different.
Mhm.
And I mean, you look at what just currently stuff that happened in like the Netherlands and in Europe. In France, they went and they covered the capital with shit.
Yeah.
We,
Well, and think about
we had
entitlement.
some people in our country that broke some windows on our capital, and they were taken to Guantanamo. Think about that. We don't do what Europe does. We are locked down. Now, if we made it so that was somewhat acceptable for us to do, the world would be a very different place. So I think that we've always been pushed. We've always to see what's going to happen, and I think the Epstein list is it. How much worse could it get? I cry now when I hear the word baby food.
Mm.
And if we don't do something, if we don't now is it, then we're done because there's nothing. It can't get any worse.
Mhm.
There's everyone's saying people are finally starting to say, hey, there's people in power and in charge of stuff that have done terrible things. That has to stop. They have to be held. Whoa.
Right.
And if not, and if we don't do something, either then the system doesn't work, and we have to stop it. We have to do stuff that like Joe talks about. It's time to invest in rope. It's time to. These things have to happen, and if they don't, there's nothing else that it can't get any worse.
Yeah. Asking a law to protect you that's not upheld is like, putting on somebody else's seatbelt, or as, ridiculous as all that is, oh, I had a life jacket, but it was in the boat, but I never put it on,
They've literally done everything but come into our house and like rape our family.
Mhm.
It's literally like that's it, they do, and then nothing happens. I mean, there's all these things that have come out, horrible things, connections to other things. It shouldn't. It can't be stood for, and if it does, then we are slaves. We're done.
Mhm.
We can't complain about anything.
And I think we've already been slaves unknowingly, and now that's being exposed to us. But I think you're right. We do have to, when you know better, you do better kind of thing.
Mhm.
Okay, we can make all the excuses in the world that it's always been like that and all that, but it's still wrong. And at some point, you are part of the system. If
Yeah,
you continue to
we're at
operate
the
it.
point. I think it's not some. This is the point where we either say this is the way it is and I accept it and it's okay, or no, it's not
Or
okay.
no. Yeah.
It has to be fixed. We have to stop this.
Yeah. I know Trump is calling for, and Professor Clements is supporting it and talking about a lot, promoting a call to national prayer for redemption, like true. And David Clements really talks about that you can't just say you can't just be forgiven for something without being truly remorseful and sorry for it. And like, as America, as this is exposed, what our military has done, what we the people have paid into for years and submitted and complied through laziness, ignorance, all those things, manipulation, lies, all of that as well. But at some point we have to say we were part of this and it's wrong, and we need to be sincerely remorseful and to get true redemption for our country and to move forward. You can't ignore the past, and we have to call out all those things, admit that our system was facilitating it, a part of it. We like you said, the world does whatever we say, you know and so you can't say you're not responsible for part of it too, and that our nation needs redemption and sincere like remorse, and before you can move forward.
And just accountability.
Mm-hmm.
People have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
They have to, and it has to stop. And that's one of the biggest reasons why things have gotten as bad as they have is because people aren't scared. You saw the
Well, and they do what's comfortable, Sean. Like I just started listening to Dr. Laura again with these long drives. And she had this lady on today that the lady had been assaulted by her sister's husband, and the whole family just lets it go on and they don't hold him accountable. And this lady is just destroyed. And I guess her mom's husband had assaulted her when she was little, and the mom kept being married to the husband, and now her sister's brother assaults her or something. And the whole family's like, and Dr. Laura was like, well, you're doing the same thing they are. And she was so offended. She was like, what are you talking about? I'm the one being, and she said, no. You're asking your mom to give up her husband. You're asking your sister to give up her husband and her mother. But you want to have your sister and your mother, and you're not willing to hold them accountable. They've already made their choice. Indecision is also a choice, is a decision, you know? And so to say, for us to have this all brought up to us and seeing it so publicly and all this, we can't just say, well, not my monkey, not my circus.
Mm-hmm.
This is all of our problem. And we have to say, each of us has to decide where our boundary is. I will not participate in that system. I am, remorseful that the United States was ever any part of that. Humans were any part of that. Like all of that has to come forward, and we all have to claim our responsibility in it to be able to move forward in a healthy way. Otherwise, you just still want your sister to give up her husband and her mother because you want a mother and a sister, and you're just
not just the Obama Trump effect that I always talk about. Mm-hmm. It's like right is right, wrong is wrong, and it's not, hey, this is wrong that Trump's doing. Oh, well, Obama did it. I didn't say Obama didn't do it. I said it's wrong. It's like that started with them, to where now it's like your side it's okay for your side to do it if their side did it first, which it's understandable, but it's not okay. Right. It's either it's right or it's wrong. And get now to swing it back to the Palantir thing. Mm-hmm. If you really look into it, Palantir, have you heard the leaked Zoom thing?
Where they said we kill people?
From the stockholder thing, yeah.
Yeah, I was showing it.
He said, I hope that you understand. And that's the thing. It's like, hey, we're doing all these things that are terrible, but it's for our side. And I think that's why people have to me, it was a realization of why everything is designed to separate us. Everything's designed to make us versus them, us versus them, us versus them. Right. Because we need to give license to those people to do illegal things, to break, but for us, for our side.
Because
the ends justify the means.
Right. But that's because they have created, we used to not give participation ribbons and whatever, and people did have merit and they earned things, and that was something to be proud of. And then it got into this victimhood, and your feelings mattered more than somebody's rights, and this victim had ultimate power because how dare you offend them? I'm a victim. They empowered the victims, which is so unhealthy. It's like classic enabling behavior,
with when it comes to the basically we're talking about people in power doing illegal things, not just inappropriate. They're doing wrong, but they need to have our justification, our allowance to do it, and we give that allowance because we've been brought up in the us versus them mentality of two groups, and it's okay if you're doing it for us. And and I think that's been the whole strategy of why we have to get so mad, why we have to get so angry to where we cut stuff off with our family, do all, because, hey man, if I'm not going to talk to my own cousin or my aunt or my uncle or my parents, then yeah, I don't care if you collect data on, some people. This is serious, dude. Yeah, you do it. We have to win whatever. Yeah. I think we're at the. I told, like I said, I think we're at the end where we either change things and fix it, fight back, tear it down, or your family's dead, you're dead, I'm dead. We're slaves. We do what we're told.
I totally agree. There was a another story I heard that kind of falls in line with this. It seems like Australia has found their line in the sand, their point, and I guess some like 35 or more family members were released. Oh gosh, I can't remember what country, from somewhere. I apologize, I can't remember where it was, but they had infiltrated Australia and they were building a caliphate to have ISIS take over Australia. And so when this was found out, they got sent back to Australia and they were like, no, we don't tolerate this. They stripped them of their citizenship, whatever they had gotten, or visitation visas or whatever. And that was it. They said there's no return to Oz, which a lot of my woo-woo friends might think that means.
Did you hear Rubio's speech in
No.
Europe? Well, he given a few of them, but he said these actual words that, when did colonizing become a bad word? When did colonialism become bad? We improved the world with our colonialism, our missionaries, our so on, so on, so on. We're going back to a time where we're taking responsibility for change in the world. We're like, hey, the world is messed up. We need to fix it. We have the power. It's a very odd time. I've seen some stuff where AI and other like philosophers are looking at it as like the 1400s, where it's the last time that the world really changed and went on a different trajectory globally. And that's where we are. And then just, we talk about not asking why.
Yeah.
I remember a long time ago, remember when the wall fell in Berlin? And everyone was like, hey, we're all friends, the world's great, so the evil empire is dead. And we are friends with Poland and all these other former Soviet, Ukraine. We love the shit out of them. But Russia is our enemy. China is our enemy, and we do lots of business with China. We don't do business with Russia. So that's weird. And we're both our enemy, but one we give billions of dollars to. But Russia, I've told you tons how they've saved America before. How they've
tons of children out of Ukraine from biolabs and all kinds of stuff. Remember Putin said he was giving a really long history lesson, and Tucker was getting so frustrated, and he's like, what does this matter? He's like, because this matters. You need to know the full history. Why are you not friends with us, but you're friends with your enemies?
Yeah, and we are friends with our enemies, literally. I mean, Britain tried to take over twice. We're not even taught about the second time they tried to take the country back. We don't really
71 or whatever when they
I think it was 1812 or something, and we don't really talk about that. Or at least I wasn't. It wasn't like a big deal. But we're friends with our enemies. Russia's literally saved the country a couple times. I watched this very emotional video with Glenn Beck. Have you ever read the first draft of the Constitution? Ooh.
Really?
It is crazy powerful. It's basically like everything evil is England. Everything evil is the king. Can you believe slavery exists? They go to Africa and they take people and make them slaves. They die on the ships coming here, or America was like, and I've heard that all I was taught is that the first draft was a little bit too, woke, I guess you would say, back when woke was a good thing.
Reverse woke, yeah.
And it was like, no, that's too much. You got to take the slavery stuff out. And so we just say all men are created equal. We'll use some nice words, but it's fiery. It is like
interesting
a sermon.
It up. Yeah.
But anyway, so I remember the wall came down. So we're all friends, but then all of a sudden it's like, no, Russia's our enemy. Why? Why is Russia our enemy? And now they're, but what is, like, Soviet Union, terrible things, Stalin, terrible things. Putin, bad dude, got into power by doing bad stuff. But I mean, my God, look at the stuff that's come out that our people have done and are doing.
Yeah.
But he did stuff.
Once again, don't justify two wrongs don't make a right. We're not
Right, but
just
he did stuff to his own to get power. Like he false flag stuff, but he did it all in Russia, to make himself look good. He created problems so he could fix them, so that he could get popularity, so that he could move in. Maybe a couple assassinations, bad dude. But that's how he got power. But we have never had issues, really, but we have to have that adversary, or else the military-industrial complex and other things are going to, shut down.
right.
But just asking why. Just keep asking why. Don't just take whatever is given to you at face value. Just ask why. Israel's our greatest ally. Okay. I'm not disagreeing. Just why? Just like Carlson does. When I was a financial advisor, I used to I was very pushy. We were taught to be super, super pushy and do like hard sells on investments and insurance and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I would put a spin on it where I called it the Columbo method. People will be like, oh no, I need to talk to my family or whatever. And I was like, what? Okay, why? No one's ever said no before to me. I literally would say that sometimes, like, oh, you're a weird freak that you don't want to put money in this mutual fund. I've never heard that. Can you tell why? I just want to know why you're so weird. What? And they're like, oh, well, it's not that I don't want to. I just don't think I can. I was like, you just want to buy. I use it all the time. Be like, you just want to buy good beer instead of cheap beer every month. You could buy cheap beer and then put like $50 a month in the mutual fund, right? Well, yeah, I guess I could. Okay, just But I literally think that was the whole thing. It's like, why? Just and have it explained. If someone can't explain it to you, like AOC couldn't explain. Did you see that?
I heard just bits of it. Her defense of it was on the radio or something. She was like, they were taking guffaws that I said and spinning it instead of focusing on the reason I was there or something.
Asked her a simple question, like a super simple question. And she was like, it sounded like a stupid, I use the word stupid.
Like Biden.
No. Like a stupid woman at a beauty contest. When they're asked the question and then
they don't have
she was what? And puppies are cute.
Oh God.
It's bad.
Okay.
It was Kamala word salad, but not delivered with any authority. Kamala would deliver with authority, just made no sense. She was given the word salad and was no confident.
Wasn't gaslighting anybody with it.
She was like a deer in headlights.
Wow.
It was. There's no way she can run for president. That was.
Of course not. That's obscene.
No, of course not. They were talking about her. And she has gotten as far as she has because people say, oh, of course not. There's no way now. Any foreign policy, anything, she can talk about, the rich and the poor and the Bronx and the whatever. But when it comes, this was a basic foreign policy question about, I think, China. Wow. And she was like, and I think, and, as everyone knows, this is that way. Yeah.
Okay.
Bad.
Yeah, really bad. I did see that we're leading up to the State of the Union right around the time that the planets all align, February 26th or 8th.
What's going on with it? Because so the government might shut down, and then the president put out a statement that if he said if the Democrats, but it's everybody. If if the government is shut down, he'll still do the address.
Sure, why wouldn't he? When it shuts down, it never completely shuts down.
Yeah, but hold on. Does that mean he just does it from the White House at his desk?
Oh.
Or does he have the money to put it in and have the whole big show? So then does it count? Is it historic if it's now, and then does he have to redo
And from
it?
Mar-a-Lago via video?
Or from the White House, but then does he have to redo it when the government opens to have a regular, like, it's like, oh, we eloped, but we want to have a church wedding for our families kind of thing? I mean, I wonder what happens, if this really happens and the government shut down, he still does it. Where does he do it from? Does he pay for it himself?
Isn't it just a report? It doesn't instill action, so it really wouldn't matter where it happens. Unless it is
back on the history of it to see, like, maybe when it started, where it went from.
Yeah, that's
like, does it have to be
in front of Congress?
There, yeah. So I don't know.
And if so, how many have to be there to be quorum and all of those kind of things?
Is there going to be like people that he can say, hey, this guy, came from, snuck out of North Korea and, they're up in there and, the kid that, had cancer and wanted to be a cop and, are they going to be in the room? Is it going to be just like, here's a basic speech and it's all streamlined now? I don't know. It opened a bunch of questions when that came out.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll have to, maybe we can do a watch party together if they do anything.
Yeah.
Tonight is also the big lunar eclipse and the beginning of Ramadan. We're all in the middle of all the holidays, the holy days. Fat Tuesday was last Tuesday, and Ash Wednesday is tomorrow, which that's about repentance, all that kind of stuff. So kind of interesting.
We both learned a lot more about the other Catholic Church.
Oh, the black ones the black popes or whatever that you found.
No, then the black popes. When the church split, the Orthodox. The Orthodox.
Something totally different.
Yeah, okay. We've really kind of learned more about the split of the church. The Orthodox is more of the classic church, and then the Roman went kind of more different way, and that's the. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I've heard and read that the Orthodox Catholic Church has had this massive resurgence. And
all the churches, not a lot of churches. I shouldn't say all the churches,
but a lot of people are coming. They're leaving the Roman Catholic Church to go to the Orthodox Church. And they in the churches in big cities, because there's not a lot of Orthodox, they can't, they're standing room only now on Sundays. It's because it's happening so fast. People are
there's been revival across non-Christian to Christian, just in general. We saw it in college campuses a few years ago.
Yeah.
And just kind of everywhere.
But I think it's a little different. It's not just, because a lot of times there's bad times or what's the word, like depression, that kind of thing. It is, we've had a resurgence of people turning to God, but I think now it's maybe it's because, like I said, I think we're at a turning point or at the end of the line. Even at that point, it's like, no, I'm not that. That's not real. It's more. And I think that's why maybe Islam has had such a big growth, is because it's so well defined. Andrew Tate always talks about that. The boundaries are so well defined, and people want that. This is bad. This is good. This is evil. This is good. This is okay. This is not okay.
And if you condone it, you're acknowledging it.
Yeah, it's not. There's no gray area. And if you talk shit about my religion, I'll fight you. That's one of the biggest things about Islam, is it's not, it's like Crusades Christianity back then. It was like, I will defend the church, I will defend God. Yeah. So that's, and he said that's why it's growing, and I agree with it. It's Elon posted today that he believes in the writings of Jesus Christ. So, and that's something else. Joe Rogan came out with that, and I think that's part of the Orthodox thing, is that people are really starting to separate religion from Christianity.
Yeah,
It's
legalism, to getting rid of the legalism.
Rogan said that he studied the teachings of Jesus Christ, and he can find nothing that's bad, nothing that contradicts itself, nothing. And then someone said, well, the Bible says, no. He's like, no. I mean, actually, like the red words, if you study just the teachings of Christ, it's nothing but love, nothing but, the right path, which is true. I think all the, like you said, the legalisms and the interpretations and all the other stuff that comes from people,
to ways to control people. Like that's why Jesus came and flipped the tables, because they were defiling his Father's house with usury and misleading people under the guise of.
No, I told you why he flipped the tables and cleared it out, because that was the only area where the Gentiles could go, where the Gentiles and the it was like the temple set up like a not hierarchy, what is the caste system, and the area where Gentiles and the scum could go to learn and to get saved was this one area, and the other people were like, oh, set up the booths and the banks and the money. Here, we got room, just move those people out, they don't matter anyway. And he came in, he's like, this is the only place these people can go. Get this crap out of here. Move this out of here so people can come in. That was why.
Once again, that's not always what we're taught. So
the
religious part manipulates the story or whatever to be a sense of control over people. And I think you're right. People are seeing through that. And, I was talking to Cannon even driving there, and we were having this conversation about religion and relationships. And I said, but how do you know God? And he's like, well, I talk to him. So I said, yeah, that's a relationship. So it's not about what the rule, what this church tells you or that church tells you. It's you have a relationship through Christ, and that's no one can tell you what your relationship is. That's that peer-to-peer, one-to-one, that, and that's what the church tried to be, the intermediary.
I don't know if I told you, but
we don't need any more middlemen.
Oliver, I wasn't there, of course, but Ted and Alice were over at Nick's, and they were talking about something, and Oliver said, what's the deal with this God? What's going on with that? And they were like, what? He goes, yeah, everybody's like talking about it, getting mad. They're very emotional about this God. He literally said, like Seinfeld, like, what's the deal with this God guy?
Wow.
And they thought it was hilarious and funny. And I was like, gee, I wish I was there. Yeah. And it's something I wish I could. It's one of the things I miss about my mom passing away. I never had conversations about stuff like that, or about religion things, which she knew,
which is wild because that's what she did.
Yeah, but she, didn't talk about that stuff with me.
But it's like the cobbler's children have no shoes, I guess. You don't bring that stuff up.
She was in charge of everything religious for a continent, for all of Europe.
Yeah,
she was the religious coordinator. So she was in charge for everything, for usurer, which was all branches of military.
I haven't heard it called that.
So it was a big. That's why she got a new officer that came because she was and that's another thing. She was a GS 13.
I don't know any of those numbers.
It's like a 4-star general, but
wow.
on a civilian rank. And but she had a military officer that she reported to, and she had a new one came in, and he straight up told her, okay, you had a 2-year contract. This, when it renews, I'm not going to renew you. We don't want to renew your contract. She's like, why? He said, this is position too important for a woman to have. And that wouldn't happen now, but this was like 82, 83. So he said, no, you're a woman that's not, which, I mean, she had a lot more stuff she could do then, and then she took like a GS9 position or 11.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we were there, we had
and the kids,
and
all the thing.
And she was the head of a recreation center. Very different, big step down, but
maybe a big relief.
But I think it was kind of like more of a relief, and it was easier, and then it was fun for me to grow up in a rec center.
Yeah,
I'd go to work after school, walk to her base from where I went to school, and then I had like 4 pool tables, 10 arcade games, movies. They were constantly on a big screen. I was the only kid. There were lots of
would have been fun if there were
guys, but yeah.
That's wild.
But it was but we were talking about, I'd like to be able to have like those conversations and stuff and learn like what she thought and all her. She also went to, I think she went to Drew University for her master's. She went to Boston for her doctorate. Which even then, I was an adult, but I wasn't, like interested in that or even philosophy or anything at that time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If you could talk to her now, maybe you can make an AI if you have enough video, and if you have writings of hers or
I don't know.
Content that you could make an AI of her IP.
Yeah, that would be cool. Stepdad even has stuff.
Yeah, and then you could ask her those questions, I would think, unless that was infringing, which I was going to go down a whole nother rabbit hole with that, but I get around, it's already 7:00. I'm going to read this on my Patreon tonight. I just found it on my desk, and I'm sure my husband put it here from the mail, but I don't know whoever gave me this. Thank you. But it's called Billy Gale's The Bridge to Bitcoin. And the little prologue of it says, in the realm of digital innovation, a bridge emerges, connecting ordinary lives and the allure of Bitcoin. Yes, beneath its promise lies lurking danger, a troll named Scammer Delete, preying on unsuspecting travelers and seekers flock the bridge to Bitcoin. Hope collides with deception, but amidst the chaos emerges a champion, Billy Goat, protector of the vulnerable. He illuminates a path to safety with each step, thwarting the troll's sinister schemes. It's a tale of courage, resilience, and enduring power of community in the face of adversity. So journey through the blockchain realm and across the bridge to Bitcoin, where triumph awaits the bold. So I like stories that are about community coming together and winning. So I think I'll read that on my Patreon tonight. So if you guys are up, join me live over there, and I'll make sure it's for all paid levels. I have opened up a $5 a month paid level. So hopefully you can join me there. I'll see you at on WBRT on Thursday.
Yeah, what is it?
Opting out. I'm pretty sure I nominated it, so I hope I get extra lot.
Hope everyone's there.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Go there. It's been a while since he's been there.
Wasn't he there last week? He was there last week.
Yeah, it's been a while since he was there.
Yeah, it has been a while. He's been busy.
Nice having him there.
Yeah, I love having Joe on. Yeah, that was a great show last week too.
Yeah, and then we got to get you to mint your meme asylum.
I know I did.
How is meme asylum?
And I'm doing good with it. You guys helped me get kind of caught up on it, and then I also went back in. And so I was thinking about strategy wise, like, okay, if my trombonin is ×1, which I really gotta go.
Chicken Swinger has taking the lead. My Lord. I like
wonder if
black
we might
Elon
get that.
Tesla.
Yeah, so we'll see what ends up happening. Yesterday, Chicken Swinger was not in the lead, so I'm glad
No,
to
and
hear.
I think Lee was telling me that he's like, do you believe this? I'm like, yeah. I said, everyone knows about the chicken swing thing, and he's like, I just learned about it. I was like, really? I was like, yeah, it's not just Jews that do that. I think it's like some, and that is weird that it's a connection to voodoo. You know,
Oh,
you can
I didn't think about that.
voodoo people,
And we're in the middle of Mardi Gras and all that right
yeah,
now.
voodoo religions do that, and then Jewish people do. Like, you can commit any sin. You can go out and murder your neighbor and rape his.
Kind of like Catholics and then saying
And
the rosary or whatever.
yeah, but that's like someone has. There's still like judgment, but this is like you can personally go do it, whatever sin, and then you go put your sins on a chicken, and then you kill the chicken, and the chicken goes to hell and pays for your sins.
Oh, so you just pay the Pope instead for your sins?
Or
and
no, you go to a priest and he
bless
says,
it.
"Hey, that was bad. You have to do the Hail Marys or this." Or they could
Make a
give
donation.
you service and tell you got to go mow your neighbor's lawn or whatever.
Yeah.
But they, it's usually like a standard thing that they do. But that was one thing which I did ask my mother about, which is interesting because I was born Catholic, raised Catholic. And then my mom wanted to get divorced from my abusive father when I was 2, 3. And she goes to the church, and the church said, no, you cannot get divorced. You have to stay there. So my mom said, Sean, we are Methodist now. And we get divorced. But then also she became, a reverend because she couldn't be a priest. But that's another thing. She went to seminary, it's everything. So, but she was so when we moved to Texas, which there is no it may shock you to know this, but in New Jersey and New York, there's no Southern Baptists. At least there wasn't when I was growing up. So we came to
I
Texas.
never thought about that. Which you probably
came to Texas, very different churches. So
what are their first Southern Baptists? Because it's a difference.
I was saying might be now, but when I was a kid, there weren't Southern Baptists. In New Jersey.
That's awesome.
So coming here, it was shocking. In fact, my mother was supposed to be a reverend of our Methodist church. It was between her and someone else, which I'd have been raised very differently if she had gotten the job.
That's wild.
So when I went to the youth group, I guess I would have called him like conspiracy theorist nut job. But he was just like, oh, Catholics, that the upper echelon of the Catholics are all, weird Satanists. I'm like, what? The Pope is like God. What are you talking about? We used to say prayers for the Pope, like before we ate our lasagna when I was a kid. What are you talking about, you crazy man? And he was like, yeah, they got this ring and this symbol and that. And I was like, I think I have to tell an adult what you're telling me. This is nuts. And then he said, the one thing he said, it says here, no man comes to the Father but by me. No one can forgive your sins except for God. And he goes, when you go to confession, it goes against the basic thing about it. And I was like, that doesn't sound that crazy. I'm going to get back to you on that. And I asked my mom, I was like, hey, how come it says this? And, that is one thing I actually did ask about because I did question that because it very clearly says that that's not okay. It doesn't work. And that's like the basis for being forgiven. And
so you're only forgiven by the church, not God, because you went to the church and not.
Well, see, that's a big thing now. So it was what my mother told me. And what I think has been lost with the whole generation. Intent doesn't matter anymore. Political correctness, it just matters what you say. You're signaling. You're virtual signaling, not the virtue. Me and you grew up, you could tell a joke that was racial, but if it wasn't mean-spirited, it wasn't racist. Now, whatever the words are, that makes you a racist. And I'm like, no, I'm not a racist. I told that joke, but I mean, like I'm dating a black person or a Mexican person. I'm not racist. It's just no. You said these words, so that makes you. And so the intent is what you were taught. The intent is for you to be forgiven. The intent is for you to repent. So everything you're doing everything right. So God would see that and see your heart. That's what my mother told me when I was a kid. So even if it's wrong and it's all, but because I was like, all the Catholic people are going to go to hell forever. That's a big scam. Devil's winning, And she told me that that's why intent matters so much, which is, like I said, doesn't count anymore. And literally, they've attacked intent to where it doesn't matter. It's just the virtue itself, the signal itself. If you can, because you can look at these people and know they're terrible people, but if they're saying the right thing or they're doing, then they're fine. They're absolved.
Yeah. I mean, it's more of that, like you were saying earlier with AOC, the word salad and how they change definitions every year. Gay used to mean something different, all kinds of things.
That's such a big one. I mean, that's literally like bad means good. It's and you can just watch any old movie. It's like, hey, gay, let's be gay with each other. Oh yeah, I like getting gay. It's almost like a
gay old time.
It's almost like a joke. Like people would say, hey man, let's make this one word mean something totally crazy, different, crazy. They're like, yeah, that'll be fun. It never happened. And then look where we're at. Yeah.
We are here. It's time for accountability for sure.
Let's make potato salad mean murder. And then we come back like 20 years later and you're being charged with potato salad. Going away for 30 years, mister.
Or pizza now. What does pizza mean to everybody now? It doesn't mean the same thing anymore.
I've cried like 4 or 5 times. Someone said baby food. I'm starting to tear up, man.
Oh, these people are sick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I love you, Sean. Thank you for always being there for me. And I will see you guys all. Thank you, everybody that joined us in the chat. I love your comments. And I always think it's really interesting to get feedback from the community as well. So we will see you guys next time. And we'll definitely be together for Thursday morning on WBRT.
Yep.
Let's opt out. Take care.
You guys take care.
America's not the government, people. The America is you. It is the Grand fucking Canyon, the Rocky Mountains, the deserts of the Southwest, the Pacific fucking Ocean, the Atlantic fucking Ocean. It is the grandest continent. And what the fuck have you people done? You have turned yourself into sheep, every goddamn one of you.